Well. Welcome back from the break. I believe you had at least 30 minutes of rest. Did you take anything that refreshed you? I hope you didn't take Banku and anything heavy to cause you to sleep in this session. We are still exploring the Microsoft Word program window. So let's launch it again. Okay. And there we are. Okay. Currently, you can see your ribbon fully displayed. However, let's assume that you want more of the content on the document window to display, and therefore you don't want the ribbon fully displayed, but just the ribbon tabs alone displaying. What you do is you come and click the hide or collapse the ribbon button, as you can see here. You click it. Once you click it, the groups are hidden, leaving only the tabs displayed. If you want to use a particular command from a group, what you do is you click its ribbon tab, and then the ribbon displays for you to choose or apply whichever command that you want. But the moment you click anywhere in your document window again, the ribbon groups disappear. If you don't want the commands or the groups hidden, what you do is you click any of the tabs and then you click this button here, which is the pin the ribbon button. You click it. Once you click it and you click anywhere, you notice that the ribbon still displays. Okay, let me enter some data in here. For now, if we say we are typing, it will take us some time. So let me generate some text. There's a feature in Microsoft Word, or should I say a function in Microsoft Word called the rand function. And the purpose of the rand function is that it allows us to cause the program to automatically generate some text for us to use. The rand function allows us to cause or instruct the Microsoft Word program to generate some text by itself so that we can use that text for whatever we want to do in the program. How do we enter or make use of the rand command? What you do is you type your equal to sign, and then you type the command rand, R-A-N-D. Then you bring your brackets open. When you bring your brackets open, then you have to define the number of paragraphs that you want. So for instance, I want 6 paragraphs, so I'll type 6. Then you bring comma. Then how many sentences do you want in each of the paragraphs? So let's assume I want let's say 8 sentences, or should I say 8 rows? Okay, so once you enter that, then you close the bracket and then you press the enter key. the moment I press the enter key, you notice that some text has been inserted. Now let us look at this side, that is the status bar. You notice that the number of pages we have in our document as we have created are 2 pages. So we have page 1 currently. Right now I'm scrolling down, and when I scroll down here I have page 2. So we have 2 pages. Then how many words are contained in our document? The program has computed that for us, and here we have 764 words. Okay, so if you remember, we said the status bar displays information about the document that we are using. Okay, if let's say you want to identify the grammatical errors, we can click this. For now, let's leave this one. So that is it for the status bar and its elements. Let's come to the view options. Right now, our document is displayed in the print layout view mode. That is, if we decide to print our document, this is how it will appear on paper. So that is the print layout mode. But you notice that there are other view options here, which is the read mode, and then we have our web mode. When I click the read mode, look at how our content displays. You notice that it enlarges on the screen, okay, so that it's like you are reading a book. So it magnifies the text on the screen for you to read. Okay, so let's say we are done reading this part, then we click this one, then we see the next. Okay, all right, so that is for the read mode. Let's look at the web layout mode. So it displays it as it will display when you are accessing it in a browser. Okay, that is how it will display if you were in a browser. So that is the web layout mode. Beside the view options here, let's come to the view tab. When you come to the view tab, you click the view tab, you come to the view group, you see that beside the basic 3 we have 2 other view options. You have the layout, okay, let me close it. Sorry, outline, not layout, sorry. And then we have the draft also. Okay, let's go back to the print layout. So that is it for the view options. I hope you are practicing along as you are viewing the video. Don't just observe. Whatever you are doing, you also explore. That is why I asked you to sit by a computer, and as you watch, then you also practice along. Now, it is important for me to bring this to your attention. If you really want to answer the exams questions in Office very well, you cannot just be reading. You need to practice. When you practice, what happens is there are certain things that will not necessarily be given in the notes. But when you practice along, the examiner can ask an application question. Application question simply means when you are using the program, things that you learn along the way, those are the application questions. Now, when they ask such questions, because you have practiced along, no matter how they trace the questions, your mind will go back to how you practiced whatever they are asking you of, and then you'll be able to give the answers. But if you don't practice, you'll be found wanting. So always practice along. Let's come to the zoom controls. If you remember, we said the zoom controls are used to magnify or reduce the elements on screen. So if, let's say, I click the zoom in, it means I'm magnifying the text on the screen. It means I want the text to look, or the content to appear bigger on the screen. If I click the zoom out, it means I want to reduce the content displayed. I want to reduce the size so that it becomes smaller. But remember, I told you that whether you zoom in or zoom out, whether you magnify or reduce, it will have no impact on your printed work. So take note of that. Okay, now I have not come to selection yet, but let me select this line here, and then you see some menu appearing. Okay, or should I say, yeah, let me leave it at contextual menu. Okay, let me refer to the name properly. Yeah, it's contextual menu. Okay. The moment I select, the contextual menu appears. This is the contextual menu. Now, contextual menu usually contains commands of the program. So instead of you going to the gallery, the ribbon, some of the commands are given to you on the contextual menu. Okay, some of them are given to us here. But if I should right click, you notice the contextual menu also comes with this drop down menu. Okay, it comes along with this one. Okay, all right. All right, so we are done with our exploration. This should be 2013, not 2007. If you see, you've seen that already on the other slides. Forgive. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we are about to create our first document. But before we create our first document, I want us to take note of certain keys on your keyboard. You have the shift, you have the enter, you have the caps lock, you have the control, or CTRL, that is the control. Alt here is for alternate. Okay, so let's first of all look at the enter key and what we use it for. When we press the enter key on our keyboard, what we do is we move from the end of one paragraph to the beginning of a new paragraph. It means you are creating a new paragraph the moment we press the enter key. The shift key, usually when we want to type, let's say, a single character in a word as capital and the rest of the characters of the word, we want it to remain as small letters. Then we press the shift key and then press that character. So if, let's say, I want to type Kofi, okay, let me go back to, no, let me explain this, and then when we are done, we will go back to the practical session. Okay, so if, let's say, I want to type Kofi, I'll press the shift key, and whilst the shift key is still pressed, I'll type the K, and then release my finger from the shift key. The moment I do that and then continue typing, K will appear as capital while the rest of the characters will display as small letters. Of course, we can also press it. If, let's say, we want to enter symbols that appears in the alphanumeric, that is on the number keys, that is 1 to the equal sign. If you want to type any of the symbols up there on the number keys, if you want to enter any of them, we have to first of all press the shift key before we press that particular number key. Once we press the shift key and then we press the number key, the symbol that is displayed on top of the number will now be inserted into where we are typing. And so that is two uses of the shift key. That is normally used to type capital letters. That is single capital letters of a word, or we can use it to type symbols appearing on top of the number keys at the alphanumeric area. Then we have our caps lock key. The caps lock key is normally used to type a word or a sentence in capital letters. So, for instance, if I want to type Kofi fully in capital letters, then I'll press the caps lock key once. The moment I press it and I type Kofi, all the characters will appear in capital letters. Then we have the control key or the CTRL key. The control key usually is used with other keys to give specific commands. Okay, the control key is used with other keys to give specific commands in the program. Which program are you talking about here? Microsoft Word, of course. The Alt key similarly can be used to also can be used in conjunction with other keys to give other commands. But beside it being used to give other commands, when we press the Alt key alone within Microsoft Word, it activates what is known as the key tip. We will explain what the key tip is when we get to the practical session. Then we have the backspace key. Let's say we have inserted some text. We have typed some text and we want to delete the text from the ending of that text. Then we will use the backspace key on your keyboard to clear from the end to whichever point that we want. So it will be clearing from the right side towards the left. Character by character. The delete key, on the other hand, is used to clear text from wherever the insertion point is towards the left. This key is used to clear text from the left, or from the place the cursor is currently positioned. Okay, it is also used to remove objects. If, let's say, you want to delete objects, we've inserted a picture and we don't want it there anymore, we click that object and then we press delete key. The spacebar key is used, we press it normally when you want to leave spaces between words. So I type Kofi. After typing Kofi, I'll press the spacebar key and type S. Okay, it means it is used to leave one character space, empty space, in between the words that we type. Then we have the tab key. The tab key usually is used to create a first line indent paragraph. I'll explain what a first line indent paragraph is to you. Let us go to the practical session. So we take our, let me clear this text. Okay, let's start with the enter key. Okay, let me type some sentence first. Kofi is going to school. So you know that if I want to type Kofi, I'll press the first character is a name, so it's a proper noun. So I'll press Shift and then press K. And then I'll type the rest in small letters. So Kofi is going to school. Full stop. Let's say this sentence is supposed to be my whole paragraph. If I want to type another paragraph, then I have to go down to start a new paragraph. I'll press the enter key once. The moment I press the enter key, the cursor moves to the line below, to the beginning of that line, which indicates that we are starting a new paragraph. So let me type Ama, Shift MA, okay, is at home, preparing to study. Full stop. I hope you are following. If in case you are lost anywhere, I would encourage you to go back a bit and then watch wherever you were lost. However, let's continue. So that is it for the Shift key and Enter key. Let us come to the Tab key. Let me press Enter again. If you remember, I said that the Tab key is used to create a first line indent paragraph. I will be explaining the types of paragraphs later. So if I press the Tab key, you notice that the cursor moves 5 character spaces. Count from here. Okay, 1, 2, so start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it jumps to what? The 5th space. Now I can enter the information I want. Okay, let me press this one. Yeah, so we have our first line paragraph now. Now let's say I'm at the end of this paragraph. If I want to create a new paragraph, what do I do? Yes, you are right. I will press the enter key once. And you notice where the cursor is blinking. We said wherever the cursor blinks, that place is marked as the insertion point. You notice that the cursor is placed on the 5th point on the ruler. Okay, so we are creating another first line indent paragraph. If you remember, I also told you that the shift key can be used to type the symbols on top of the number keys. So if let's say I want to type the @ symbol, I'll just press shift and then press the number 2 key on the keyboard. The moment I do that, the @ symbol comes. If I want to type the ampersand symbol, I'll press shift and then press on the key 7 at the alphanumeric area, and the ampersand symbol comes. But notice that within the alphanumeric area, you can see other symbols, such as right after the key L, you have the semicolon and colon. So if let's say I want to type colon, that means I also have to press the shift key before I press that key, and then the colon will appear. If I want to type the question mark, I'll press the shift key and then press the key with that symbol, and then the question mark comes. Okay, we have this text here. I want to clear the text here from behind towards the beginning. Which key will I use? Yes, I'll press the backspace key. For each time I press the backspace key, a character is deleted or erased from behind. Alright, let's say I've placed the cursor here. I want to erase this whole line of text, character after character. Which key will I use? I'll use the delete key. So each time I press delete key on my keyboard, a character is deleted from the beginning towards the end of where I placed the cursor Where I press the cursor. Right. Which other key did we talk about? Okay, we have talked about shift. Yeah. Now let's come to the caps lock key. If you remember, we said the caps lock key usually is used to type a word, a sentence, or a phrase in capital letters. So whenever we want to type capital letters, we first of all have to press the caps lock key. We press it once, then we can type learning office suit is very interesting. Okay. After typing, if you want to type anything else, but you don't want the entire text that you are going to type, you don't want them in capital letters, what you do is you press the caps lock key once again. So the first pressing activates the lock so that whatever you type will appear as capital. The second pressing deactivates the lock. Now whatever you will type afterwards is in small letters. Okay. I hope you are following and you are practicing along. After this session, that is session 1, I will give you an assignment to prove to me that you have done the work. Let's go back and look at the next one, the control key. Yeah, the control key, I said, is used in conjunction or together with another key to give another command. So for instance, if let's say I want to activate what is known as the save as command, what I'll be explaining these things later. What I'll do is I'll press the control key, and then whilst my finger is still pressed on the control key, I'll then press the S key. When I do that, you see that the backstage view displays, and then the save as options it displays here as well. So now I can save the work that we have done. The next key is the Alt key. We said the Alt key, when pressed once, activates the key tip. Okay? So what are the key tips? What you see up here, you see that each of the commands, of the key commands here, and sometimes each of the key commands here are giving certain numbers and letters. Okay, certain numbers and letters here. So if let's say I press 2 on my keyboard, okay, you see that the undo command is selected at the quick access toolbar. Let me press it again. If I press, let's say, which one is this? G. You see that the G is supposed to activate the design tab. Okay, and if you look at this, if I should press TH on my keyboard, what do you see here? A gallery displays. And so you see another set of key tips here. So normally the key tips are assigned to specific commands. Okay, if let's say you don't want to be using your mouse, but you want to use your keyboard, then you can be using your you can press the Alt key to activate the key tip, so that it will serve as some sort of a navigation tool for you to get to the commands in the program. Okay, delete spacebar. Yeah, once the spacebar, if I want to type Kofi is going to school, yes, so I'll type Kofi, then I'll press the spacebar. Please, the spacebar is the longest bar on your keyboard at the alphanumeric area. So if let's say I type Kofi, I'll press the spacebar key once, S, then I'll press it again, going, space, 2, space, school. Now press sorry, I'll end it with a full stop. Okay, so that is the use of the space bar. Well done. Now we can actually create our first document. Let us get to it. This one was just a preliminary explanation of stuff. So when you launch your Microsoft Word program for the first time, this window will be what you will first see. The window displays the most recently documents or files that you have accessed within the Microsoft Word program. On this, at this pin, that is a recent pin. You see a list of the files you have accessed over here. If let's say what you have accessed is not displayed here, but you want to get to it, then you can click this one, open another document, but we'll get to those ones later. Now at this side, we have what is known as templates. Templates. What is a template? A template is a pre-designed sample document which you can modify its content and appearance to suit what you want to create for the document you are creating. In other words, let's say you go to your fashion designer. When you get there, you notice that there are various designs that can be shown for you. That is, they are displayed either on a calendar or in a book. Those designs are what? Templates. So what do? The tailor will look at that template and design a similar thing for you. In the same way, in the Microsoft Word program, you are given the templates. The template is just what? A pre-designed sample of the document that you are trying to create. Or if we can say some sort of a draft, but it's not proper anyway, we cannot say draft. But let's accept that it's a draft. Okay, it's a sample of how you place the contents, the kind of information that you can place there, the arrangement of the information within the document. All of them put together form a template. Therefore, if you look at this, if you look at your Microsoft Word, you see that you have different samples of documents. So if, let's say, we want to create something like a resume or a CV, okay, we have an example here. If we want a book cover or something, we have them here, calendar. Okay, so we have different templates. As you can see me scroll through. Okay, so when you come here, when you launch your program, you see the templates. You can choose any of the templates, and then once you choose the template, you can then modify it to suit what you want. Let's assume I want to create a resume or a CV. So I'll click the template here once. The moment I click it, then this dialog box will display. Then I'll click create. Okay, it is on the internet, so it's now being downloaded for me. Yeah, notice that there are certain templates that can only be accessed whilst online. But within the Microsoft Word program, there are some templates that are accessible offline as well. So we have the template that I selected here. I can delete the content here and then insert the information. So what is it? Say what? Name here. So I'll type my name, Charles Mensah. Okay. Job title. I'll select college, ICT tutor. My education, so I'll put the date here, then the school, my GPA, and any other information as it is given to me. I'll just delete the sample there and put the actual information that is required in there. So I'll just select and then delete and put the information there. So that is how we use the templates. But usually what we may want to create may not have its templates being displayed over here. In that situation, then we have to start afresh. To start afresh, to start a new document altogether, what we will do is we will click the blank document. The blank document gives us an empty template that contains nothing. Okay, it gives us a template that contains nothing at all, no information, no text, no image, nothing. So let me click it. Once I click it, I have a document now which is empty, and then I can put in the information as I want over here. Let us create a document. How do we create a document? The steps for creating a document are given to us as follows. Step 1. Click the File tab for the Backstage view to appear. Step 2. Click New on the file pane. Step 3. Click the preferred template or blank document. Step 4. If you selected a template, modify the content as preferred. If you selected blank document, enter and modify the content as preferred. Step 5. Save the newly created document. So these are the steps for creating a new document. Sometimes, instead of following this long procedure, if let's say you've already opened the Microsoft Word program, you've entered some content, but you want to create a new document again. You want to create a blank document. Okay, you want a blank document so that you can insert new content. There is a keyboard shortcut for doing that. You press the Control key on your keyboard, and once your finger is still pressed on the Control key, press the N key. So this is where you see the plus sign. Any moment you see plus sign, it means you press the first key, then followed by pressing the next key, and if there's another key, whilst your finger is still pressed on those keys, then press the other one. So when you see plus, it means keep your finger pressed on that particular key, and then whilst your finger is still pressed on that one, press the next one. Okay, we have our blank document now. Let us enter some information. Let us look at, I'm going to type the definition for word processing. So we said the production, storage, and manipulation, that is another definition, manipulation of text and other elements on a computer through software. You notice that as I type, the cursor moves towards the right. It means the insertion point is being moved. Okay, let me end the sentence. Let me continue another. In this case, when I end a sentence and I'm beginning a new sentence, I don't need to press Shift key before typing the character for that character to be a capital letter. No, mostly when you put the full stop there, the program already recognizes that you have ended a sentence and you are beginning a new one. So if I type THE and I press the spacebar key, the program automatically changes the first character of the first word of the next sentence to capital. To make it a sentence case, we will look at what cases are later. Now, did you notice something? When I reached the end of this line and I was about to type the next word, because I've reached the end of this point is called the margin. And this side is the beginning margin, and this side is the end margin. I have reached the end margin, and I was typing. But the moment I typed, the word that I typed, because I've reached the end, the word moves to the next line in the same paragraph. There's a feature in Microsoft Word, or should I say a function in Microsoft Word, called word wrap. Now, word wrap causes the cursor to move to the next line when you reach the end of a line of text. So if, let's say, I've typed and I've gotten to the end, I've reached the end of that line on the right margin, the cursor will automatically move to the next line. That is what is called as what? As a word wrap. A word wrap is a function in Microsoft Word that causes the cursor to move to the next line when the end of the previous line is what? Is reached. Word wrap is done by the program automatically by itself. Okay. Another definition of word processing would be that it is an act of using the computer to organize, revise, and print out any form of written communication. Full stop. Alright. So you notice there was another word wrap here, and I've gotten to the end of my paragraph. I want to enter or type a new paragraph. Which key will I need to press? You are right. I'll press the enter key. When I press the enter key, what do you notice? You would have noticed that the Microsoft Word program has left a blank space over here and then moved the cursor to the next line. So it has one line which is empty, one empty line here, and then it jumps that line to this one, indicating that we are starting a new paragraph. Now, when Microsoft Word does that, what has happened is that Microsoft Word has caused a hard break. When we talk about a hard break, when the enter key is pressed after reaching the end of a paragraph, the hard break is applied. When the enter key is pressed after reaching the end of a paragraph, the hard break is applied. An empty line of space is created between the already typed paragraph and the new one about to be typed, as you noticed already. Alright. If there is a hard break, then certainly you'll be asking of a soft break. Yes, a soft break does exist. Let me show you. Okay, I have reached the end of this. I want to enter another set of information which will remain part of this paragraph, but on a new line, on the next line that follows, without leaving any space. In that situation, before I press the enter key, I'll press the shift key, and whilst my finger is pressed on the shift key, I'll then press the enter key. Once I press the enter key, you notice that the cursor moved to the next line without leaving any space. When that happens, then it means that what has happened? A soft break has been applied. So usually the computer by itself, after we pressing the enter key, applies the hard break. But we can also apply the soft break. What is a soft break? This break moves the cursor to the beginning of the next line beneath the paragraph without creating any blank space. This means whatever you type forms part of the existing paragraph. Word wrapping is an automatic soft break applied by the program. Why? Because when you reach the end, the program by itself moves the cursor to the next line. So it applies what? Soft break. Okay. Now we have created our first document. Let me enter some additional text here. Okay, let's take this paragraph. We have created a document. Whatever we have now only exists in the random access memory RAM. The moment the light goes off, whatever we have done, we lose it. So what we have to do? We have to cause the computer to create what is known as a file on the computer. The file is an object that contains a group of related information under a common name and format. How do we cause the computer to create the file? We have to save. So now it is time for us to save our work. Let us look at the procedure for saving documents or files. But before we save, note that every file that is created and saved in a word processing program is called document. Any file created and saved in or through a word processing program is known as a document. Let us look at the procedure for saving a file. To save a file, the steps are given to us as follows. Step 1. Click the File tab. Step 2. Click Save As on the File tab. File pane. Step 3. Click Browse to activate the Save As dialog box. Step 4. Browse to the location to save the file. That is the location where you want to save the file. Step 5. Type the preferred name for the file in the file name box on the Save As dialog box. Step 6. Click the Save button. Let us practicalize this. Let us go back to Microsoft Word program. We have our document here. So in following the steps, step 1, click the File tab. Once you click it, we are now at the Backstage view, and then we have the File pane here. So what is the next step? Yeah, your guess is good as mine. The next step is to click the Save As option. Please don't say click on. I said click. So click Save As. The next step will be to click the Browse button over here. Then the Save As dialog box appears on your screen. This is known as the Save As dialog box. You can scroll through here and then identify where you want to save your document. By default, documents on a computer are usually saved in the Documents folder. By default here means as the developers of the operating system made it. When you want to save any document, the place that it will save it, if you don't change the location, will be in the Documents folder. Therefore, when we activated the Save As dialog box, the location it took us to straight was the Documents folder. So that is where we are now. Okay, if you are alright, if you're okay with saving your document in the Document folder, then you type the name over here. But if, let's say, you want to save it at a different location, for instance, I want to save it in a different partition. Let's say I want to save it in the Documents partition of my hard disk. I'll just click it. Okay, then probably is this one okay? All right. So let's say I will now type the name in the file name box here. This is the file name box. So MS Word Practice 1. Practice 1. After typing the name, then you click the Save button on your dialog box. Once you click the Save button, your document is saved. A file bearing the name is now stored at the location where you selected. Beyond let me also take this one. Instead of following this long procedure to save your document, after entering your information, you can simply press on your keys Ctrl and S. When you press Ctrl and S for the first time in your document, it will send you to the backstage view, to the file pane. And then you can follow the processes to save your work. So if, let's say, you have made some changes, I'm adding a new sentence. We are enjoying the practical session of Office Suite. Full stop. I've added new information to my saved file. If I need to save the new thing that I've done in the document, do I have to go to File tab and follow that procedure to save the new changes that I have made or the additions that I've made? No, you don't. All you need to do is to press Ctrl and S on your keyboard. Each Ctrl and S that you press on your keyboard saves the additions or changes that you make. Each time you press, it saves that change in the file. Or instead of pressing Ctrl and S on your keyboard, you come to the quick access toolbar. You can click the save button here. So if, let's say, I type new information and I'm done, and then I'll click this button here, the save button, and then any new change that I have made will now be saved. Now the advice is that at least between the interval of 2 to 3 minutes, every 2 to 3 minutes, any change that you make, save it. Any change that you make, save it. Especially if you are working on a desktop computer instead of a laptop. The moment the light goes off and you don't have a UPS, it means whatever changes that you have made, if you forgot to save, it means you've lost all those additions that you made. That is why we say every 3 minutes, press Ctrl and S on your keyboard to save the changes, or keep on clicking the save button here to save the changes. We will soon be ending the lesson. The last thing I will be teaching is that you can save Microsoft Word files in different formats other than document format. For instance, you can save your document as a PDF file. You cannot do so in the lower versions, that is the 2007 below, but you can save your document in PDF file from 2013 upwards in all those versions. How do we save our document in PDF? The steps are given to us as follows. Alright, so you follow up to step 5 as well as step 6. That is the same procedure you did when you were saving it as a document. Okay, so I'll click File, click Save As, Browse, locate where I want to save it, type the name here. Then the next step you will need to do is to click this arrow button here. Click it. Once you click it, you see that there are various other options for you to save the file as. That is, you can save it as different file types instead of document file type. Okay, so for instance, you can save it in this version, or we wanted to save it as a PDF file, but you can notice that we have different type of files that we can save our document as. So let's click PDF. Once you click PDF, then you click the save button. Then once you click the save button, a PDF file is created, and then the PDF program or Adobe Reader program is launched and the file content displayed in it. The advice is, before you save a document as a PDF file, first of all save it as a normal document file, because you know that once you save a document in a PDF format, you cannot make any changes to it. So always try to save it first as a document. Let us look at file extensions. When you save a document, you cause the computer to create a file with the assigned name and add an extension to it. The extension is used by the operating system to identify which programs which programs on the computer can be used to access or open a particular file. What are we saying here? What we are saying is, every file we create on a computer has what is known as a file extension. A file extension is used to indicate which program the file was created in, and which program or programs that can be used to access that particular file. So the computer looks at the file, looks at its extension, and then determines that, okay, for this particular file, this is the program that can be used to access it, or these are the programs that can be used to access it. In Microsoft Word, the file extension for versions 2007 and upwards is .docx. So anytime you create and save a file, automatically the program or the computer adds the file extension .docx to that file. However, if we were using earlier versions of Microsoft Word, the file extension would have been .doc. The last thing I want us to look at is that you cannot use certain characters to save your document. You cannot include certain characters as part of the names that you will use in saving a document. These characters are known as special characters, and they serve certain purposes. You can identify these characters over here, the backslash and the rest. You can see them here. You can pause the video and look at it. I hope you had a very fruitful lesson with me. This ends the second part of the first session. We shall take the third part later. Kindly take a break.